Good morning. Welcome to day 3 of The Life of a Writer 2026. I'm Cassidy Carson. As you can see today, I've changed up my background a little bit. I'm sitting in front of the fireplace in our living room. The stockings are still hung by the chimney with care because I'm not quite ready to give up on Christmas just yet. Some people talk about leaving things up until January 5th or 6th. In my case, it's more likely to be the middle of the month because I have a lot of decorations around the house. So the Santas and things will start coming down first. My nutcrackers, that's just a few of my collection. But in the meantime, I'm trying to get some work done on book 2 of the Restless Spirit series, and to be honest, I'm not feeling great today. I don't know if it's something that I may have caught from JT, or if maybe it's a combination of the letdown after the holidays, and I tend to have allergies and some sinus issues, so I do feel very low energy, and I apologize if my chair is squeaking. I'm using my computer chair. Also, you may notice that our stockings have a B and an L on them, though our author names are J.T. Hume and Cassidy Carson. Those are pseudonyms. We are actually Bob and Liz Moore, and our company, that's why our company is called Two More Books, Moore. So we are, we didn't talk much about that part of our identity while we were still working because we were in public service. We worked for state government and we were keeping the two separate, but not like it's a big secret. So though we call each other CC and JT, we are actually Bob and Liz. And it kind of sounds weird to say that, but that's who we are. Anyway, I digress. Oh, and I realized I'm doing it again. I was looking at the screen instead of the green dot on the camera. And when I do that, it looks like I am not looking at you. So I'm going to try to do better as I record these going forward. This is definitely a learning curve. Not like I haven't done videos before, but trying to be more consistent about them is a learning curve, and just putting them up without really editing or anything. So I think I started talking about the book that I'm working on right now, Restless Spirits, book 2, and the progress is slow and steady. That's one of the reasons I'm leaving Christmas up for a little bit, is that I'm hoping I can get my first draft done soon and then spend a little time focusing on getting everything put away properly instead of just throwing it in a bunch of bins like I usually do. I want to be a little bit more organized for the next holiday season. And JT laughs because I say this every year, but I have managed to get things a little bit more organized. It's a work in progress. And that's just basically life in a nutshell. We're all a work in progress. So whether I'm writing, whether I'm decorating, whether I'm organizing, it's never quite the outcome that I'm hoping for when I plan it, but it's something I continue to try to improve on, like these videos. So it will be interesting to look back at the end of the year and see if I am more polished, if anything changes, because JT and I have been doing podcasts now for about 5 years. We started during the pandemic lockdown, and that's where the CC and JT Amateur Hour came about. The Nevada Author Network is much newer. We started that in the middle of 2025, and our expansion to interviewing other authors also started in the middle of 2025. So that's a newer process, but we've been recording ourselves. We started out audio only. I don't remember specifically when we added YouTube to the mix, but it's definitely been a work in progress, and we've been practicing, and I think we've been improving. We did a live stream on TikTok on New Year's Eve, and I was amazed that we were able to just kind of jump right in. I didn't think we would do very well, but I noticed that JT seemed more polished. If someone popped onto the live stream, he would reintroduce us in different ways so that the people we were talking to originally didn't hear the same exact thing over and over again. But I do think we are improving in front of the camera, both of us. And I think in life overall, we're both improving because we've been doing this life thing for more than 60 years now. And for many of those years, for 40 something years in my case, not consistently, but I have been writing, and getting back into writing full time and concentrating on writing is something I'm having to relearn. I think one of my issues as an older writer is that I don't have that brazen confidence in myself, I guess, that I had when I was in my 20s, because I felt like I could write anything. And I was submitting to traditional publishers at the time, and without a lot of success. My one almost success was I had been a fan of the TV series Quantum Leap, and I was writing basically fan fiction of the show. But at the time, they were also doing a tie-in novelization series that they weren't specifically episodes, but they were the same characters from the TV show. And since I loved the show so much, and I'd been writing so many alternate storylines for Sam and Al, then I started submitting them. And I got the attention of an editor at Berkeley Publishing, Ginger Buchanan. I think she's since retired. Wonderful woman. She was very supportive and encouraging, and I actually got to meet her. I went to a Quantum Leap convention. It was in 1995 specifically, I remember, because 1995, for fans of Quantum Leap, was the year the leap began. So I went to that convention. I still have the bag somewhere, and met Ginger Buchanan. She was introducing me around as a member of her writer group. I met some other authors who had already been published at that point, and it was a very exciting time. We had a lunch together where we discussed some of the things I had submitted. I hadn't quite hit the right story yet, but there was one that they were holding on to toward the end, basically, of the publishing of those books. And mine was getting very close to a point where they were going to publish it, and they ended the series. And my story, they did not feel was the right fit as an ending point for the series. So I got my manuscript back, but I still have letters, and I still appreciate all the time and effort that Ginger put into me, because it helped my confidence, because I was, even though I was brazenly self-confident at that point, I was very nervous about putting myself out there. At this point in my life, I am much less confident in my output as a writer, but I am much more confident talking to people. And it's interesting how we evolve as people throughout the course of our lives. So that's kind of a happy memory for me. I don't know if I'm glad the book never got published. I still have the manuscript, and I may actually revise it. It's science fiction based, and I could probably change the characters and still have a very interesting story to tell, because it's not entirely related to time travel and leaping. It's it has to do with space, and I could take out the time travel aspect and probably still have a workable story. So once I get my current series done, I have plans to write a second series, which I've already started. And those are both, well, let me backtrack a little bit. So my current series, Restless Spirits, is paranormal romance. 6-book series, I've mentioned that before. I am also going to be finishing a standalone, which may or may not develop into a series at some point. I have some thoughts on that. But Battleborn Bride, I'm hoping, will be a standalone release this year. And then I am going to go back to a series I started many years ago. The main portion of the series, there will be a trilogy of books, the Trevance Travel series. And that initial trilogy, I think, will be more women's fiction than romance. I'm not sure how well the romance aspect fits into the storyline now that I've been thinking about it over time. But there will be offshoot romance novels that are related to the Trevance Travel series. So that is another one. Once I finish the Restless Spirit series and release Battleborn Bride, I'm going to go back to the Trevance Travel series and get that one done, because that's been lurking in the back of my head as well for many years now. I had my Facebook page set up for that series and just lost momentum because I got so busy with my day job and life outside of writing. So now that I'm more focused on getting back into writing, I have a lot of things that I have started. I have so many partial books sitting around that finding something to work on is not the problem. Concentrating on finishing the project is the problem. And especially now that I'm having maybe a lack of self-confidence in how good I think my work is. So like I said, life, like writing, is a work in progress, and we spend a lot of time and effort learning how to do things, learning what works best for us, learning really how to filter out the negative voices, both our own and other people, because I, like many other writers, feel a lot of imposter syndrome. And I don't know, I think I said yesterday, I don't know that I'm a good writer. I don't know that I'm a bad writer. I'm probably maybe a mediocre writer, but I enjoy writing. I'm going to continue writing, and I'm going to finish and release my projects, even though I don't feel they're perfect, because if I try to make them perfect, I'll never finish them. So I'm struggling through to do the best that I can, and I encourage you to do the same thing. I think I mentioned either yesterday or the day before that it's good to try to do your best work, but don't let other people discourage you. Don't let people tell you you're doing something wrong. Try something. There's nothing wrong with failing at it, because I think if you're trying your best, there's no failure. You just keep continuing to do what you're doing, do your best at it, and enjoy yourself. I think that's the most important thing. And over the course of the coming year, I am going to do more to enjoy myself. Probably not today, because as I said before, I'm not feeling great, but I am successfully doing my video for the day. I do plan to sit in my recliner over here later on, and I have a TV tray. I can put my laptop on that and open my manuscript. I had an idea when I finished last night that I want to incorporate, so I may not get a lot of writing done. I'm not going to push myself to write a lot, but I do feel like I want to get this out of my head before I forget the idea I had last night. And it's something I can do without putting too much pressure on myself. So live in the moment. You know, even when we're not feeling great, sometimes we can manage to do some fun things. But on the flip side, if you really don't feel well and you need to sleep, don't feel bad about that either. Take the time to take care of yourself. You can always go back to what you want to do later. So again, here I am rambling, but I am making a point to look at the green light, so hopefully I'm not looking off to the side like I've done in my previous couple videos. Work in progress. So on this January 3rd, 2026, I'm Cassidy Carson. This is The Life of a Writer. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care.